I am Spikevegeta, and I will be running Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer with JHobz.
Hey, I'm JHobz, and I am going to be doing a co-op Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer with Spikevegeta.
I think there's a lot of interest here for us to go into for the fact that, one, it's a co-op. Two, it mixes in what we love about speedrunning, that it's all about your movement, your optimization, being able to defeat the enemies on screen, not just enough to keep yourself safe, but also to do it quickly at the same time. I love that in co-ops for this sort of stuff, there's just tons of conversation constantly being thought between the two players and we're constantly balancing like seemingly 500 different things of what is the best thing we can be doing at any given time. If you're ever not talking, it's probably not a good sign for both of you going quickly.
Yeah, a randomizer takes a speedrun that you're super familiar with and makes it fresh every single time, which is what I tend to love about them. And on top of that, it is a constant routing challenge on the fly, second by second. And the fun thing about doing that cooperatively is you actually get to route it with another person. You can have ideas in real time and make decisions, and then try to complete the game as efficiently as possible while splitting things up between the two of you. So I'd say the run changes quite a bit from this being a co-op run. It actually is a single player run. You kind of can just follow certain hints that you get throughout the game and just base a lot of your routing on your own tools. But with a cooperative run, you have to decide at any moment, do I keep being efficient by going to a place my partner has not gone yet, or did they find something so good that I need to kind of waste time effectively, but follow them to go pick that up? You actually end up with a lot fewer tools in a co-op run sometimes because you're splitting things up so much. So while your times end up lower on average, the game almost gets harder in a way, despite the fact that you're working with another person.
Yeah, it gets to the point where you're so used to, like you're saying, Hobbs, going through on a solo run maybe and just having this wealth of tools in front of you. You have to decide, what am I valuing? And maybe seed to seed, you're going to have a different set of items that you're valuing where, okay, this is good. I only have to dip into here behind my partner in order to grab this one thing. It requires better contact between, or just better conversation between the two players, but also a little stronger will to do things with half the stuff you're used to having. In general, obviously in Kingdom Hearts 2, it's a very combat-based randomizer, that it's way more about how do you not only get through the fights quickly, but survive them, since we'll be playing it on the critical mode difficulty, the highest difficulty in the game. I think when you're talking about the mob fights, you're just looking for crowd control. You're trying to look for the utilization of different great, especially magics like Magnet, Magnera, Reflex, Thunders, Fires, all that sort of stuff, in order to get the enemies basically to the point where they don't ever get a chance to kill you, and that's the best way to go about those. And you've got the boss fights where I think for a lot of them, we try to look for some level of a loop, understanding how to manipulate the AI of the enemy in a way where we know after we deal X amount of hits, they're going to try to retaliate in a very specific way that we want them to retaliate, and then we restart the loop and keep going from there.
Yeah, the other kind of consistent strats you'll see are more related to checking more places for more items that you could get, more rewards. And one of the big things for that is finding drive forms early, which are also great combat tools and sometimes can be, can kind of carry you through the game just by being good combat tools. But also you have to level up drive forms. So one of the common strats is, where can I level up this drive form while progressing through the game, so I'm not wasting time just doing that, while also hopefully using it to efficiently beat a battle. It's a really interesting balance. It's kind of like this hard decision you got to make in a lot of different spots. And it's actually one of my favorite parts about actually running the randomizer, is trying to efficiently route in those drive leveling. Any fight can kill you on critical mode, especially early on, or if you don't get a lot of levels, a lot of experience. But also specifically for fights, Xigbar is like the biggest wall. He needs quite a few tools. He's just really hard to begin with. And you need to get a really high level in order to not be dealing minimum stats, like minimum damage to that boss. So he can easily end a run by not having enough tools to be able to beat him. So you have to keep searching and waste a bunch of time. but there's a lot of other hard fights too.
I would also throw in the fact that there are some big skips that you have to utilize in order to potentially go through the randomizer. The throne room skip in the Land of Dragons, the Mulan world of that game, where you can jump over a cutscene trigger where normally you'd have to fight Shan Yu. Instead, you can get into the throne room, get 8 more checks for free, much, much faster than you would be able to otherwise. This is having to put all this movement ability together to potentially get that. But if you're just a little bit off, you lose obviously a ton of time. You're thrown into the fight, and getting to those checks might not be extremely efficient. So those are definitely some big moments in the run we got to watch out for.
As with pretty much every game, you can go to speedrun.com, search for the game or the series, in this case, Kingdom Hearts, and you can join a Discord there. Usually on the sidebar on the left, there's a Discord link. That'll get you to kind of like the main community Discord. You can also go to randomizer.valaxor.com. And that will get you the tools for the randomizer itself, as well as the ability to join the Discord for the randomizer, where you can ask questions about that, get help with setup.
Cage 2, randomizer, there are literally a couple hundred people who are there ready to help you get set up and are ready to race. They are always excited to see new people wanting to get into it, talk strategies, talk meta. It's a ton of fun. There's tournaments going on literally every single weekend for it. It's a brimming, vibrant community, and I recommend people get into it. It should be a lot of fun.